And but to back up, it was Key West where those two things came together.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother moved out here, and a lot of back and forth talking on the phone.
To LA, Hollywood. He moved to Hollywood.
And I was done with Key West at that point anyway, because
You fucked probably every girl in the...
every available girl, and probably a few underage ones too, I mean, we weren't checking IDs back then.
Okay.
But I mean, I was in the same age group anyway.
You're talking about in your private life, or you mean...
Private.
Private.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls, tourist girls, because they're just looking to have some fun.
Mm-hmm. And
all you got to be is conversational with them, and compliment them, and tell them how good they look, and you could take pictures immediately. I mean, I would literally walk down the beach looking for girls. Hey, how you doing? Boy, has anyone told you how good? This is one of my favorite lines. Has anyone told you how nice you're looking today? Well,
okay,
no.
That's good.
Has anybody told you how nice you're looking in the last month and a half? No. Well, I'm telling you, you look damn good. And I know because I'm a professional photographer. Really?
That's good.
Wow. You want to take my picture, mister?
So you get them to ask you to take it.
No, I would
like
ask.
that.
That's just a story. But and these, what I'm shooting today are still accelerated stories of my beginnings. Once I got that video camera in my hand, at first I was private with it, and then finally I just got it out and says, come on, do strip dance for me, and
And
cool.
you would start stripping, and then would it
masturbate. I get them masturbating.
They do a solo, and you would shoot that, and then would you be a POVing with this, or how would that? What would you be shooting at that point?
Well, some of the POV, the blowjob stuff, if they were down, and or otherwise.
Did they know that?
Oh no, you didn't pay them.
So they just blew you, and then they're just like,
no,
hey,
we'd fuck. I'd say, here, put these high heels on. Put the lipstick on, and they would feel like it was like a modeling session.
Right.
And I said, Jesus, fuck, why didn't I figure this out before? These girls honestly want to fuck, and they're in that age group, they're so horny.
Give me the age group we're talking.
Well, 18 to mid-20s after. Yeah, I mean, they're just totally irresponsible, right?
Okay.
They self-medicate. I remember one young girl, and I can't tell you her age, but I met her at the bodega, and she asked me if I wanted to get high. So I said, yeah, why not? So I packed her on the back of my bicycle, and we rode down to the docks, and we got high. And she was way too young to be doing this stuff. And we just start making out, and the next thing she says, let's go over to your place and fuck. I'm saying,
life is good.
Back then in the early 90s, it wasn't like it is today. Today you probably get 10 years for something like that.
Well, you almost did, but we'll get to that story.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, that's a whole different situation.
And I'm going to get to it because there's a lot I want to talk to you about.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's progressing along. You get your camera. When did you cross over between doing this for fun and bringing girls back to like selling your first thing or making this a business? How did that happen?
When I moved out here, and I hooked up with Bobby Hollander, and the first things I shot were scenes for Mr. Peepers, and then Bubble Butts, and he could see I had some talent. And
you're a performer though at that point, correct? Or you were
no. At first, I was just shooting "quote unquote" amateur guys, and girls, which is basically meant girls and guys that just got into the business, right? That they, not like Peter North or
newbies.
Newbies, yeah. And so that was the amateur.
Where'd you get them, by the way, at that point? There were agencies, or?
Oh yeah. There was two agencies back then. There was Jim South and World Modeling.
I knew both of them.
And Reb Sowitz at Pretty Girl International. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember because, and I go back a ways too. But I would go when I knew them. They had card catalogs. This is before computers, and they had pictures on the catalog, and they'd have the picture of the girl, and then it would say what she would do, and you go, well, I need anal, and like back then there'd be two cards, so you started. I mean, you're a pioneer.
No, so I went out
You're
and
watching
booked the girls.
people watching this. This is the beginning, the essence of the beginning of the pornography industry, pretty much.
Right.
John Stagliano, all these people. So okay, so now.
Yeah, John had been in business. This was late '91, early '92, and John had been making it since like 88, 89, I want to say. And he was an actor before that, but he started his own stuff after that, and then. And I learned from him, but I put my own spin on the ball.
Do you remember the first real theatrical porn movie? Back then there was the Pussycat Theaters and Deep Throat.
Oh yeah.
How old were you when Deep Throat came out?
No, I couldn't see that movie when it came out.
Okay.
I had to wait till a few more years because that was like what, the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah. I turned 18, I'm thinking 1974. And we didn't have access to any of that stuff. We definitely did not have no porno theater.
Not in Wisconsin, huh?
Well, they might have had one in Milwaukee, but they didn't have one where I grew up.
Yeah.
So my only exposure was Playboy and small little magazines and individual photographs.
So now you've moved to Hollywood. You get a little apartment, or are you with a friend? Or?
No, I moved to my first place was in Burbank.
Okay.
I never lived in Hollywood.
By yourself, or do you have a buddy or?
My brother.
Oh, your brother. Okay.
My brother Mark.
And this is your one sibling, correct?
No, I've got several.
Oh,
yeah, and then my other brother Peter.
Okay.
He came down and met us, and I turned him into a photographer.
You have a sister in the mix?
Yeah. And she's still back in Wisconsin, freezing her ass off.
All right. She obviously your whole family at this point got past the point that Paul Little became Max Hardcore.
You know, she still gives me grief about it.
Yeah. She religious still? I mean, is she home and goes to church?
You know, I don't know if she goes to church every week. You know, and my brother my older brother that does go to church, he thinks it's all cool.
Be a little hard to be Max Hardcore's sister. I'm just saying. Could be.
You know, to her, I'm Paul. You know, I'll always be Paul, and
just stay away from watching.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
But
okay, so you have the couple brothers out here. One you're living with, and then
the other one moved into, and now we're a tripod. Yeah.
3 guys. Porn business. You're making Mr. Peepers. Are you selling these or what?
Yeah, sell it for. Listen, it's like we would book the girls for $150, book a guy for $50, and we would shoot it. And I made anywhere from $650 to $850 on the scene from LBO.
You just sell it outright here, and they'd buy it from you.
Yeah, they would buy it.
And what was the company again?
LBO.
And what does that stand for?
It doesn't. Not anything that I know of. I just. But LBO Entertainment did all of them. Mr. Peepers, Bubble Butts.
These are these being sold on reels or VHS?
No, this is all VHS stuff.
VHS.
Oh, they did reels too.
Okay,
yeah.
so VHS that are going to adult stores and things like that. And, you know.
Yeah.
So at $650.
7-minute loops.
7 minutes. So you're making $650 for 7 minutes.
Well, no, that's what they would cut it down to. The VHS releases were actually quite extensive because we would do all this single girl stuff ahead of time. You know, the girl would like dance and
well, like the same breakdown. You bring a girl, you take photos. She does like a masturbation, and then you do a few different things.
Yeah, dancing and masturbation, and Bobby always told me one thing, because he was a real ass man. He would say, Paulie, you gotta get the camera down low. Get the camera down low. I said, if it was any lower, I would have to dig a hole in the floor, Bobby.
And he's do it. Dig a fucking hole. He liked being up the...
Yeah, so he liked that upskirt shot, right?
Yeah.
So he says, listen, try this. Put a mirror on the ground and shoot into the mirror, okay? I said, my knees are raw, Bobby, you know, from getting down there and getting that damn shot.